Okay, so what even is there to say? Berserk is back. This is what I think about it, so let's get to it. After too much of a long time, we go back to Puck, to Elfheim, to the Sirens, Kelpies and Centaurs, and God, how have I missed this world? Berserk has always built itself from common known fantasy archetypes that are recreated in very ingenious new ways. Thus, the world of Berserk remains familiar yet unknown. But beyond that, it is extremely iconic and recognizable, and I just love to see it back once again. Also, Puck kinda bad though. We then set our sights on Casca, and we have already seen this, but not so much from her perspective, and it's simply horrifying. She climbs down the stairs, set her sights on him, the man, the figure and symbol she served and protected, and just completely destroyed not only her, but also every single person she loved. And she sees him in the eye and just completely collapses. This hurts, man. This burns me inside. Also, the way she falls down reminds me of how Guts passed out from being close to the God Hand in the Black Swordsman arc, so maybe this is common to everyone who has a brand of sacrifice, I guess. Now, I have to say it loud and clear, Koji Mori and Studio Gaga are absolutely crushing it with the art in these chapters. Of course, it doesn't quite feel the same as Miura's artwork, but this is still at the level of big manga art. Right up there with Murata's work in One Punch Man. It truly keeps the essence of Berserk alive, and it feels like the series is in the right hands for the job. Okay now, in chapter 364 we saw Guts at peace, with something happy. Life was not perfect, but it was finally starting to get better. And then he just went on to play with a little kid. Holy shit, guys. Guts, the man who was literally burned fighting for his own life, is now just interacting with a little kid. But no, we cannot have that. We cannot have that little piece of happiness. The kid turns into Griffith, and that's just too much. Every little piece of reflection and wisdom Guts has obtained throughout the story is now useless. All of his growth and transcendence, every tiny aspect of his evolution is completely and utterly negated, just by looking at this monster who was once a man. It is just painful to see Guts reduced to this state once again, his face covered in inhuman shadows, his eye resembling that of the beast of darkness that dwells deep within him, and his arms endlessly moving to desperately hurt the godly presence before him. What a depressing sight Guts has become here. And of course, Femto just stands there, naked and completely pure, a god, quite literally beyond anything in this realm. He doesn't even see a thing in the whole 2 chapters. His presence alone is enough. Just whoa. And then, in a maelstrom of absolute chaos comes the raging figure of a demon. Nosferatu Zod comes into Elfheim, and oh my god, we are getting the rematch of the century with Guts and Zod duking it out next chapter. Berserk is back, and that's all I have to say. So remember guys, keep struggling and keep getting stronger. Guti out.